What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and welcome to the Calvin Ridley route running breakdown. I noticed Calvin Ridley's routes last night in the game against the Saints, and I wanted to break down some of the best routes that he's done. He's a very elite level route runner and a great addition to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's get started. So the main thing off of this release, this is that slide release that everybody loves to drill, everybody loves to talk about, where you slide him right, and the goal is to get this DB to open up the gate and open up his hips, but he gives him a double move at the top of it, okay? So let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So slide, 1-2. Gets him to jump outside, a little bit of a stumble out of the break, but at the end of the day, the separation came from that release off the line of scrimmage. So what does this slide release do? When he comes off and gives him this slow play release, okay, he's sliding him right. This DB is not just going to sit in the inside, right? He's going to slide with him. He's going to shuffle with him. Now, all that does is that creates space over the middle for him to work this slant. Now, they got a slant flat concept here, okay? This linebacker's showing like he's going to blitz. Running back's going to be coming out of the flat. He's going to run with the running back. And so we got this ocean right here to hit this ball before Luke Kuechly comes and makes a play, right? So we got to give it a little bit of time, maybe a little bit slow, patient release, and then a 1-2, okay? So why wouldn't he just go straight up into this route? My guess is there's probably some kind of play action in the backfield. We got some time to let this play develop. We don't want to get in the window to throw too soon where they could cover both of us, okay? You guys got to be a second quarterback on the field when you're a receiver. So now when he makes this slide, see what the DB's doing. Keeping a nice, good base, sliding with him, right? His eyes are over his outside shoulder. That's what's going to get him to open up this gate. Now when he slides, he goes left. Now he's working this double move. Now what he's selling right now is he's just going to slide, then go off this left foot and go outside right now, okay, and run a fade. Or run something with an outside release, maybe a comeback, okay? Now, the main thing we got to do is on this second step, we got to make it believable. So he slides left, right. That second step, we got to turn our shoulders. We got to commit our shoulders like we're going outside right now. Our eyes have to stay disciplined and look over this DB's outside shoulder. And what does it get him to do? It gets him to turn this gate right here. And now Ridley is in such a good position where he's out of the range of this recovery, okay? Anytime we work this slow play release, we want to slide where we're out of this range, okay? You can see we rewind it. He's sliding here. He's not sliding right at him to where this guy could get hands on him. He's staying out of this range, so when he decides to make a move, this DB won't be able to recover with this right arm. That's a very intelligent release right there by Ridley, and as you can see, out of the range. It's a great example of how to use your range on a release. And then he explodes out over the middle, ball's coming. That's a great job by Calvin Ridley working that slow play, double move at the top of the route. So slide him right, left, right. Slide him right, 1-2. And then the same thing if we were going the other way and we were lined up on the other side. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So slide him, 1-2. Stay out of that range, avoid that recovery hand with his right arm, and then make a play. Okay, so now he's going to be running an out here. The main thing I want you to see, we're going to talk about his release, and then we're going to talk about how well he sells vertical. Let's watch this thing full speed, and then we'll break it down. So great release, sells vertical, coming off this route right now. That's a great job, and I believe this is against Lattimore. Yes, it's against Lattimore, a very good corner, one of the top 3 corners in the league, in my opinion, from all the film that I've watched on him, right? So off the line of scrimmage, he takes this jab to the outside. Now, the main thing I want you to see is how explosive his feet stay. Toes are forward. He's not reaching with his outside leg, okay? The main thing I see a lot of receivers do is when they try to break somebody's ankles off the line of scrimmage, they try to get this DB to open up the gate, right? They reach with their feet, and then their pad level comes up. I want your feet to stay so quick and underneath you that we don't even have to reach, but our head and our shoulders commit to, that's what gets this DB to open up. Our head and our shoulders is what gets this DB to open up this gate or to slide with us outside. It's not our feet. Reaching with our feet isn't going to do us any good. We want to stay in this explosive pad level right here, right? So he does that, and now you can see he's pushing off the inside portion of his foot. Look at this shin angle. That's what's going to explode him upfield. He got this DB to move inside. Now he can take this outside release, right? That was the goal. That's what we needed to accomplish, right? And now he's bursting up full speed here. Lattimore plays this thing good. He's getting hands on him. Now he extends this off arm to get some range, so he knows when he makes a break on this out, Lattimore won't be able to make that big of a change to it. He won't be able to make that good of a break on the ball, right? So full speed, and now what does he see? Just 1-2. Out of this break, stick right here, out of this break, and now you see how early the ball's out. This is a great timed throw by Matt Ryan here. Okay, he's letting this ball go. You can see Ryan, the ball's out of his hand before he makes this break. I see too many receivers coming out of this break, and they're not looking for the ball until they get about 3 steps into their break, right? You see how quick this ball's on him, and he's got to react fast because he's throwing this thing. Ryan's getting some pressure. He's got to get rid of this ball right now. That's a great timing throw by Matt Ryan, and that's a great job by really getting his head around and being able to make this catch. That's a great job right there working this out. Getting this outside release that we need to, extending at the top, maybe a little bit of a push right here, but we're being physical. Ball's in the air. you could call that. I honestly probably wouldn't be surprised if they did call that, right? But the two positives we can talk about this is how quick he snapped his eyes around, okay? The push right here is a little bit questionable. They're being very physical. It's a very physical matchup. But snapping his head around, selling vertical, and being able to take that outside release with explosive feet off the line of scrimmage and head and shoulders to get him to jump inside and then take that outside release. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Coming out, full speed, selling vertical, snaps it off, extends that arm, maybe a little bit of a push, but not too worried about it. Honestly, they probably could have called it, but a lot of times those calls go unsaid because they're being so physical, okay? That's a great play, great matchup by Lattimore and Ridley, okay? So now he's going to be working one-on-ones. He's going to be running a slant. Now, the whole goal of this release is to get him on his heels, okay? I get a lot of people ask me, when do I use a certain release? How do I beat press? All of these examples are how you can do that, guys. We're not just doing this just to talk about it. I'm doing this so you guys have tools in your arsenal when it's time to go in the fall, not for 7-on-7 season, because in reality that doesn't matter, but in the fall, you have releases that you can use to get some separation. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he takes a hesitation, 1, 2, 3. That hesitation is the key to this release, okay? And that 3 hard steps selling like he's just going vertical right now. So off the line, he gives this hesitation, right? This little bit of a slide release, okay? So hesitation, slide. What does that do? Gets him on his heels, right? He's working like he's just going hesitation and going to run outside right now. That's what we want to sell. Anytime we're running a slant, guys, against press, we always want to make the DB think we're a vertical threat, okay? If we don't have a vertical threat when we're running a slant, we're not going to get any separation, guys. We always got to have a vertical threat, okay? So he takes his hesitation hop, and as you can see, he's sliding outside. We slide him left, right? Sliding him left. Now he's going to take 1, 2, 3. 3 hard steps outside. Now what does that do? 1, 2, look where his eyes are. Eyes are over this DB's outside shoulder. He wants to open up the gate. He wants to turn and run with him because he doesn't want to get beat over the top. And probably, guys, in one-on-ones earlier, he's been working that same hesitation slide and kicking up into vertical, okay? That slide release is so important. That hesitation release is so important because it makes the DB think, okay? It's going to make him think. It gets him on his heels, and if we could get him on his heels backing out of there, we've already done our job. So he did that slide release, right? Staying out of this range. 1, 2, 3. Hard 3 explosive steps. And now he's exploding up. And now at the top of the route, I want to talk about this. When he makes that break, he's exploding off that cut and he's pumping his arms out of there. Because the ball's coming here, it's a race to the ball. Who's going to get there first? The DB going to get there first? I don't think so. The only way the DB recovers from what we just did on the line of scrimmage is if he slows down and pops up and waits for this ball. That's the only reason. If we can get even a little bit of separation and we can run out of the top of the route, that's when we're going to catch it. We're going to get open and we're going to catch the ball. Quarterback's going to have confidence that we're going to be in the spot we need to be, right? And this ball comes over the middle, like we said. Now, another thing I want to talk about is look how quick he looks upfield, right? Almost drops this thing here. That's a perfect example of why we got to look this thing in to the catch. He does a good job of that, but we got to look it into the tuck too. We don't want to have that ball without our eyes on it hanging outside of our frame, okay? That's a great job by Calvin Ridley working that release, and you guys can learn from that catch as well. So hesitation, slide him outside, get some room, right? If we just run right into this thing, he's going to be all over our hips. Slide him outside, stay in that good range where he can't get hands on us, then burst up hard, 3 steps, getting him on his heels. That's a great job by Calvin Ridley. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So slide him outside, 1, 2, 3. Stays out of that range, accelerates out of the break. Great job by Calvin Ridley. Okay, so now he's going to be at the top of your screen here. He's going to be running out and up. Okay, now this is an out and up where he doesn't take the full, so he's outside shade, right? So he doesn't take that full 3 steps to the out. He's got to get up into this thing quick. Let's watch this thing full speed. 1 step to the outside. Eyes and shoulders are so important anytime we're working a double move, okay, guys? So he comes out. Main thing I want you to see here, my bad. Main thing I want you to see is how his eyes are attacking. He's attacking the midline of this DB also. That's another thing I want to talk about. Anytime this DB is outside shade, inside shade, and we got to run maybe, like let's say he's inside shade and I got to run a dig. I want to attack the midline of his body. And when I say midline, I mean if you could draw a line straight from his head all the way down to the midsection of his body, down the middle, cut his body in 2. That's what I'm talking about. And see how Ridley's attacking that, right? Now, what that forces this DB to do is stay on his heels. Or what he's taught is to stay with the leverage. So he's continuing to shuffle out with the leverage, which works in our case, okay? A DB's not going to be taught to just stay flat-footed. He's going to shuffle with the leverage because he's been told to keep outside leverage, to keep everything to the inside of him because of his own coverage, right? So Ridley uses that to his advantage. He turns his shoulders completely, and he turns his head, selling like he's going to be running this out and up, right? Now, what does that DB do? He wants to make a break on this ball. He wants to make a play, break this thing up, or knock this pass down, right? And what does Ridley do? sudden stick to the inside, violent head and shoulders, and now he gets that DB to bite down. And now here you can see he's not looking up. He beat him, yeah, but he knows Ryan's going to be putting this thing on a spot over the top. So he wants to continue out and get some separation. Now he's looking back for the ball, and this ball comes in right over the top. That's a great example of how to attack leverage, guys. We don't want to just be here. He's attacking the midline, right? DB plays it good. For all the DB experts, their plan is to get him to keep the leverage and shuffle outside, right? Shuffles outside. That's exactly what we want him to do. We want him outside because we want to take this thing right up on this out and up. 1, 2, 3 here, or makes this break right here. 1, 2, 3. Head and shoulder movement to the inside. Doesn't quite give his eyes all the way, but 3 hard steps to the out, and then bursts upfield. That's a great job by Calvin Ridley working this out and up. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming out, attack the midline. 3 hard steps to the out, gets him to bite. That's a great job. Very technical route by Calvin Ridley. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this release. Okay, the main thing I want to talk about on this release is how we got to protect our rib cage, and if we do get popped off the line of scrimmage, but when I say pop, I mean this DB gets hands on us, he gets a good punch on us, how we can recover from that, okay? So let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So here, gets good hands on him, but he chops him down, right? Okay, my bad. Let this video restart, actually. So, coming off the line of scrimmage here, hard jab to the inside, right? So he's going to be coming here, left, right. Head and shoulder movement to the inside. He wants to take an inside release. Guys, anytime we got to take an inside release or an outside release, the direction that we want to go, we got to give violent head and shoulders, and we got to make it believable. Okay, the DB's not looking at our feet. I can't stress that enough. I see too many guys reaching super long with their legs. That's not what we need to do, guys. What we need to do is we need to reach with our upper half. Now, I wouldn't say reach, but I mean violent. I mean turn this opposite shoulder. I mean we're trying to get this DB to jump outside, to slide out of his platform, right? And this DB plays it pretty good. He keeps a nice strong base. Now he recovers, right? Now, Ridley brings this off arm up. Now, I normally don't like this thing coming up over our frame. I like to rip underneath or protect our rib cage and chop down real violent, but I don't like the swing above, right? Because look what happens with this DB. He gets hands on his rib cage, and he's going to knock him off to the inside of this route, right? And that's a big problem. I get this question a lot. I face physical DBs, and they always knock me off my route. How can I beat that? This is how you can beat that, guys. So he gets popped in the chest right here, but what does he do? He's violent with this opposite hand and chops it down, right? And he attacks. Where's he attacking? That point of control, the back of his arm. He's not fighting these hands. He's not wasting time fighting these hands. Because you swat his hand off, it's just going to come right back on. So he's attacking the back of this shoulder, right? Chops him down. Now, when he gets his hands off of him, what does he do? He works to restack him. He works to restack him. Now he's trailing to the inside. He's in a very bad position. He runs an out on this play, I believe, but the clip gets cut off. But he works to restack him. That's a great job. Anytime we get hands get knocked off of our route a little bit towards the inside, as you can see, we got to work to restack this DB. That's the position that we want to get into. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. That's a way to recover, guys. We always got to have a plan. We could come up to the line of scrimmage, and we could have a plan, and the plan might not work. So what are we going to do? Are we just going to give up on the route and just say, oh, he got me? No, we got to have a reactionary plan. If he pops us and he gets hands on our chest, let's just be violent with our hand technique. Let's rip through. We get knocked off the route a little bit. That's okay. Let's work to restack, okay? That's what we got to do. We always got to have a plan coming up to the line, and we got to have a reactionary plan. If this doesn't work, how am I going to work off of this? If he gets a good hand pop on me, am I just going to give up and let him press me off the line? No. I got to keep fighting. I got to work my reactionary plan. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off, chop those hands off, work to restack. That's a great job by Calvin Ridley. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments who you would like to see me break down next. Any questions you guys have, I will make sure to respond to all of you, and I'll see you guys next time.